Hey everybody, so this is the second video in the 30 days with Willow where I am posting a video a day on some topic that comes to my mind in the morning. The topic that came up this morning for me was talking about trust and surrender and trusting the universe. This is one of the hardest things for people to do. It's a challenge when you are trying to change your life, when you're trying to manifest something new, you will be challenged. If you are trying to manifest a new career, you are going to be challenged in two different ways, potentially both, potentially just one. You'll be challenged with abundance from the one direction that you don't want to participate in anymore. You'll be offered a bunch of abundance, which happened in my situation when I was a web developer. I was offered jobs, I was offered higher pay. I had one client offer me, I think it was at least double my rate. He might have offered me triple. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I had people offering me like double my rates, doubling my income basically. I had people reaching out with very good jobs, like job opportunities, like, hey, why don't you come work with us? They would be amazing job opportunities. But that's not the world I wanted to live in anymore. I didn't want to live in programming world. I'm not happy there. It's not my calling. It's not my purpose. It's not where my happiness and joy comes from. And I also know that working in a corporate setting, or not even necessarily a corporate setting, but a company setting, is not healthy for me. I don't last long in those situations. So I trusted myself and I moved forward and shifted into spirituality full-time as of earlier this year. It was like February, I think, is when I finally had one of my last clients projects that were finished up. And I think I had one in April that was very small I had to finish up, but I moved off. So I was challenged and tested with abundance, but I trusted myself. I moved into a new space that I knew would make me happy and joyful, give me what I wanted, bring me back to myself, bring me into what I wanted to do. And the thought of even programming again is nightmarish now to me. Because of how much I love this versus how much I liked that before. So I was tested, and then I was tested in another way, which was lack of abundance. So lack of abundance is when you're shifting, and just using the example of career, because a lot of people try to shift their career, their purpose, work, that sort of thing. This applies to all kinds of things. This can apply to relationships, to really anything you're trying to shift. Lack of abundance comes into play when things are going really well. Things were going great with me in the beginning. I shifted, I was making money, and things were moving along for the first few months, and then I hit a drop. Something happened, and I was at that point in time struggling to make money. And had no idea what happened, no idea what shifted, no idea why it was happening, other than I kept hearing the words test, trust, things of that nature. And intuitively knowing I was going through a very difficult test. I was going through another test, and I had multiple little tests. You get these little tests that you see, but then you get big tests too. And I was going through a big test of trusting, and would I persevere, and would I continue the journey? During that time where I wasn't making money through my spiritual work, and of course I no longer had development as a fallback, I had old development clients reach out and offer me jobs. I could have taken those jobs. I didn't, because had I taken those jobs, I would have told the universe, you know what? I don't trust the spiritual side of myself. I'm trusting the 3D side. I'm going to go back into it. And it would have brought me money through that direction and taken me back into that path. But I trusted. I stuck to it. I had some people telling me and advising, like, why don't you do a little bit of that work? And I was like, I can't, because when you do that, you're putting yourself in two worlds. So I trusted myself. I went through the difficult times. My bank account hit zero. I've never overdrawn my bank account that I can remember. I've had difficult financial times in the past doing the same thing, building the development business. When I left the corporate world, so to speak. I had those financial tests, and then the struggle disappeared as I committed to that, and Spirit brought me money that I needed every month. As whatever I needed, I could manifest. But this was a test of, would I stick to this career? So remember, you will be tested, and my biggest test was my bank account was going negative. I was overdrawing it over and over and over again, stressing out, not sure what I was going to do next, not sure if I could continue doing the spirit stuff, but I stuck to it. I said, no, I don't care about the money. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to draw, I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to use the free time, since I didn't have clients at the time. I'm going to use the time and work on myself. So I started working on my inner work more. I went deeper into myself. I did more shadow work than I had been in the past. I was like, I'm going to use the abundance of time that I now have, and rather than just constantly worry, I'm going to focus and use that to tell the universe, I'm committed to this. I'm committed to this journey. I'm committed to doing this work. I'm committed to doing the artwork, to helping people. And so I did that, and I listened to them, and I came up with a daily list of things to do every day, and came into contact with a manifestation teacher. I've always been great at manifesting, but for some reason I kept hitting a cap, and here it was early childhood trauma that I needed to clear. And so I've been working on that and just constantly doing the work of myself, on myself, rather than worrying about the other stuff. Passing the test because I came back to myself every time. You will be tested on this journey. You will be tested as you shift, whether it's a relationship. If you want out of a relationship, the person is going to start acting in a way that tries to draw you back into it. If you want out of a career, you're going to be tested with abundance in that career. And then when you leave, you're going to be tested with lack to see if you'll go back. And that doesn't mean everybody will, but those are some of the tests you may experience. You may experience tests with health. If you're eating healthier, you're going to have people coming towards you and saying, hey, why don't you don't eat bacon anymore. Here's bacon. I had people all the time trying to give me bacon. You will be tested from forces on the outside to see if you're committed. It is your job to stay committed. It is your job to trust, to surrender to the universe, to surrender to yourself, and always come back to yourself. Because when you become yourself, you get through the hardships, you pass the tests, and that's when the flower blossoms. The flower has to remain closed and tight. It can't blossom until it's ready. And you have to go through those tests and push, and then suddenly the flower blossoms. So hopefully that makes sense and helps some people. But that was what was coming up when I was asking earlier, what do I talk about today? And they said tests and trusting the universe. So remember that no matter what you try to change, you are going to be enticed to go the opposite direction in a variety of different ways. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. Grateful for all of you and love you all.